YouTube, what's the deal?
It's time to get real with Jahira. It's time to get real with Jahira.
YouTube, what's the deal?
What's the deal? One love.
YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. What's up, y'all? I wanted to come in, and as you may recall from my last video, I really just don't have it in me to do anything really heavy and really, very technical term, by the way. You should all learn it. I just kind of wanted to stick to something lighter, and fortunately, the ThesPNation, big shouts out to SP, has afforded me that opportunity. So I'm going to be participating in a tag video that he participated in called the YouTube tag. So it's kind of a long tag, but I'm really excited to be doing it because I just need, I need light, I need airy, and I know I have a crop of new subtastics. Big love for all of you. And yeah, this is just kind of a way for all of us to get to know each other better, and maybe you can learn something you didn't know. Maybe I'll share something I haven't yet, although what the hell that could be, I have no idea. But yeah, let's bounce. Let's do it. Wow. Really the freedom that it offers. I mean, I know that there are people who feel that it's somewhat oppressive, but I love having the opportunity to just kind of think of something or look at something, or, you know what I mean? Just sort of any contemplative query that I might have, I can just run on and, you know, talk about it. And we can get a dialogue going. I mean, I don't really have a structured channel, so it really is just sort of like whatever floats across my eyes or across my mind or whatever the case may be. And what maybe I haven't really expressed enough yet is that, you know, I read every single comment that I get. So no matter how silly the topic might be or how serious it might be, the dialogue and the back and forth banter, it really does kind of enhance my knowledge or challenge my mindset. And I just kind of feel like I've become an all-around, more well-rounded individual as a result of one of our little chats. So just having the ability to do that, I think, means the most to me. That's probably what I like the best about it. I'm not really sure how to put it into words, but I guess sort of the fact that there isn't a great deal of interaction amongst the people who, you know, run YouTube, sort of like the operational types, and those of us who make videos. Like, I wouldn't necessarily know who to go to if I had a problem, or if I could go to anybody, or if it's just kind of like put it out in the ether and pray somebody answers you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that there's sort of like, you're sort of throwing it at a wall, so to speak. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe it doesn't, but the fact that I can't necessarily express myself to somebody in charge, that's the best way that I can put it. That's really the only thing if I disliked it that much, I definitely wouldn't be on. So, I mean, there isn't a whole lot that really bothers me about YouTube, but that does. That definitely does. This is probably the oldest story in the world, and the very first story of my very first episode, my very first video. There we go, video. Much love from KY. Nina inspired me to make videos. Inspired is kind of the wrong word. Forced me. The short version of a long story is, I had been watching Nina for the, like, long time, watching her wig reviews and makeup hauls and stuff like that. Like, just everything that Nina was doing back then, I was watching. I was a huge fan. I ended up writing her on YouTube. On YouTube. At this point, I was just a YouTube viewer. I had never made a video, and because she had mentioned her name, her alter ego's name at the time was Malaysia Mizrahi, and I'm like, wait, that sounds like ballroom. So I wrote her and I said, da 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 da, this is that and the third. She wrote me back and told me about her, her son, who was into the ballroom scene. Shouts to Brent. Hi, Brent. And I said, well, please tell Brent that, the legendary Jahaira Balenciaga says hello. And so basically, again, condensing all of this, I was a huge fan of hers. When she found out who I was in the ballroom scene, Brent was somebody who was familiar with my work within ballroom, and he was a supporter of me. And so she became a supporter of me. So we had this like mutual fan club thing going, and it developed into a friendship, which became a sisterhood, which endures to this day. And she would always be on me. Why don't you make videos? You have so much to say, and you have such a great way of saying it. You've got to make videos. And I was like, no, no, no. Because at the time I was living stealth, in my personal life, I wasn't, forthcoming about all of my truth. And so, excuse me. So I made, I finally broke down and I started making videos, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. But yeah, much love is responsible for all the madness you see before you today. I love you, Nina. It's funny because the initial goals for YouTube got so left by the wayside. I always like, when I really need to get a kick out of myself, I'll go back to that first video when I said I think I'll be doing like makeup tutorials and makeup reviews and shit like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I said shit. Um, and just to think of how far I've digressed is highly entertaining for me. The goal really has always been, the underlying goal, which rapidly became the primary goal, was to afford women the opportunity to, and empower them with the ability to stand in their own truth, whatever that might be for them. So many times, and I've said this a billion times, but I'm going to go through it again, but like so many times we attend to ourselves after these people that we've appointed in front of our own lives in terms of priorities. I'll get to myself after I feed my husband. I'll get to myself after the kids are put to bed or off to soccer or whatever the case is, or after I've called my mother, and it just, we're constantly shoving ourselves to the back of the line. And my little soapbox has always been, when we are living in the fullest capacity of ourselves, we are so much better equipped to handle the external world, around us. And then just the fact of, coming from my own perspective as one, you know what I mean, who grew into womanhood, who wasn't, it wasn't expected of me, and yet I did it. I think it afforded me an acute sense of the way that women operate from a perspective of somebody, you know what I mean, who that expectation wasn't foisted upon my life. And so it actually became something that I studied as I grew into my own womanhood. And so having seen that, and then just having interacted with women all my life, and watching my mother with sort of a dissociated point of view, point of interest, I got to see, how much sacrifice goes into performing these functions that we believe that we're, expected to. And yet how many women are left unfulfilled because they don't attend to themselves. So that really did become the goal for YouTube. And as to whether or not it's been achieved, I don't know. How are y'all feeling? I mean, I can't sit here and say I think it's an ongoing goal, because I want to reach as many women as I possibly can, and I want the women that I have reached to reach out to each other, to reach out to the women in their own lives and sort of encourage them to do the same thing. So no, the goal has definitely not been achieved, but I feel as though we're on our way and discovering so much more about ourselves and each other along the way. It's almost a weird question because I don't, there's not this great, I'm up on my pedestal and I'm cheerleading because I'm learning. I'm learning and I'm growing at the same rate that y'all are. We're all on this curve together. So I think that as my own life continues to unfold and the proverbial layers of the onion continue to get peeled back, that, we'll all be that much better for it. That's my mindset anyway. But yeah, the goal continues. If I could change one thing about YouTube, um, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking about Amaru right now. With regard to, and it's not even so new anymore, but the new format, dear YouTube, please, for the love of God, let me delete videos off of my home screen that I have already watched. It is so cluttersome and it's aggravating. And I'm thinking about Amaru because when the new format was like released and whatever, he's such a guy, y'all. He was just so gung ho about it. And I'm like, but wait, I'm slow to change. This is not okay. But yeah, just let me delete. I want to delete that which I have, already seen. At least just exit out of my home screen because it just doesn't make any sense for me to, like, I watched the video 6 days ago and the shit is still there. It's irritating. That's all I have to say. Love, Jahira. Again, we're back here. We're back to the hodgepodge of it all. Um, I guess if I, if I were to put myself in a pitch meeting, I would say that if you were to go to my channel, you would find book reviews. You would find wig unreviews. Then I'd have to explain what an unreview is. Um, and you would find news commentary and dating advice and dating dilemmas and, just life experiences. I don't have, you know what I mean? Part of the reason why I feel like my whatever approximation of success I've achieved on YouTube is so organic is due to the fact that, and please understand for all of my YouTube video makers, rock on, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I didn't come in with a gimmick, you know what I mean? I didn't come in with some set mind of this is the box that I am going to fit in, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just not. I'm not. You know what I mean? And I've got a really kind of frenetic energy that's sort of like all over the place. I've got, ions pinging all over my brain. And as it comes to mind, if I feel like it's something that I need answers to or that I want to inform people about, you know what I mean? I'm going to put it out there. And it just, I can't be classified. I really can't. I would love to be honest. I think I'd probably have been far more, or my success would have been exponentially quicker, than it has been if I did. But I didn't want to be that kind of person. Um, it would have been a lot easier for me to, come into YouTube and do the whole ballroom route, because that's what I know. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, you part of anything for upwards of 15 years, you'll know about it. And talk about, who vogues down or who the biggest bottom is or who's got the smallest. All of which I could probably speak on. And I'd, be raking in the views and stuff like that. But I just didn't want to do that. This was my escape from that world. And yeah, so my channel is my channel. It's just the mission. That's it. That's all I got. The dreaded question. um, Do I wish I had more subscribers? Huh. I probably should have thought this out before I turned the camera on. I don't know anybody who doesn't wish that they had more subscribers, but it's not so like it's not so, what is the word I'm looking, narcissistic. Like my reasoning isn't that narcissistic. If only to encourage more people, if only to get more people involved in, in what we're about over here, then yes, absolutely. Not because I have some grandiose desire to be seen, but with that being said, I'm really happy. Like, please don't get me wrong. The fact that, it's 2 years, I'm coming up on 1,500 subtastics, it's a big deal to me, and I've gained some in the past 2 years, and I've lost some in the past 2 years. And I think, the most drastic loss of subscribers, although I hate that word, that I experienced was after I revealed my status as a woman of trans experience. It definitely was. And it wasn't a decision that came easily to me, and it wasn't a decision that I regret, but a lot of thought went into that. And the reaction was pretty much, no, I can't say it was what I expected, because I really thought that everybody would just like hit the road. And they didn't. They didn't. People have, the amount of support that I've received on YouTube is far greater than anything I could have ever expected. But, I feel like everybody who is here because they want to be here. And that's incredible to me. And so whoever, comes in and jumps on board, that's a beautiful thing. That's an incredibly beautiful thing. Especially because I'm not, pigeonholed, and especially because I'm not a celebrity. You know what I mean? So, in the words of Oprah, I believe I'll run on and see what the end is going to be. And those who come along for the ride, God bless you. It's, but yeah. So, we'll see. Well, thanks to the new format, I can't count, but I've got a page and maybe a quarter on the second page worth of subscriptions. Um, I try to keep my subscriptions pretty low. I mean, to the extent of like, I would say under 150, well, maybe well under 150. I used to have a lot more, but then it just got really, really cluttered and extraneous, and these people weren't making videos anyway, so screw it. Um, but I try to reserve that for those whom I really, really want to see. So that way I'm not just seeing like BS videos and stuff like that. Maybe that sounded horrible, but if I'm subscribed to you, it's a generally good indicator. You know what I'm saying? And then it seems like not every day, but definitely every week, I find somebody that, that I'll just come across who will make a video that interests me, and I'll end up subscribing. I'm not like snooty about it or anything. I'm just selective. I am a selective individual. Yes, natural selection, go me. If I didn't have YouTube, I would cry. No, if I didn't have YouTube, I would probably be back on Blog Talk Radio. I mean, or some permutation of that kind of source. It's it's hard to explain. The very first affirmation, I don't know if that's the right word. The very first conviction I had with regard to what I know I'm good at probably happened in fourth grade. I was I've told y'all this, that I was a big old theater junkie. And I was in a production of Tom Sawyer, and I played Mary. There's a story behind that, but that's another video. And I had to do a monologue, and I had to sing a song. And there was something about the audience's reaction when I was finished with my monologue and my song that just really, I don't know, it sparked something in me. And my mother, bless her heart and her everything, has always said, you know, if you could get paid for speaking, you would never go broke. And so speaking in public, or speaking to the public, was sort of the first thing that I ever knew that I was good at. Knew beyond any shadow of a doubt. And still know, you know, I mean, I can't whistle. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't perform a hand transplant, and, you know, I can't, you know, split atoms or anything. But I can talk. Make no mistake about it. I will give you some words, and hopefully they will be coherent. So yeah, I mean, it would just be something that would utilize that, because I really do have a need. It is at this point a need to connect with people, you know? So I'd find some way, shape, form, or fashion to do it. There's nothing else that there's nothing else I love as much as I love this. And that's just being all the way honest. So, yeah. I figure something out. Oh, hate. The illustrious haters. Gotta love them all. I made a video about this forever ago regarding my sort of lack of desire to address the issue of haters, because dwelling on haters to me is sort of like synonymous with promoting hatred. And I'm so surrounded by love, both in my own life and on YouTube, that like I've never really had an urge to give that kind of power to a troll or a group of trolls. What I will say is this. There is one person, I know that some of y'all have seen this. There's one person who has made it their mission to dislike every single video that I put out. Every single one of them. And it could be about the rape in the Congo. It could be about my fractured relationship with my father. It could be about somebody passing away. It doesn't matter what it is. And I will, like, sometimes I upload videos like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's 1 in the morning right now where I'm at. And literally within like 15 minutes, you'll get that first thumbs down. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my ex who passed away. Like, what don't you like about... But again, this is the first and the only time that I will ever discuss this. And they were the ones, well, I can get to that in the question coming up, but, you know, I think that when you have gotten to a certain level that you're dealing with the haters, or you're dealing with YouTube trolls, it's kind of a badge of honor, to be honest. It's kind of a, like, I don't necessarily mind it, because it's like, I've arrived. Maybe that's an ass-backwards way of thinking about it, but that's just the way I feel. So, I mean, again, as I drop my cigarette, what did I do? What would I do? There's nothing you can do. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting driven out of here. I'm still going to put out the best of myself that I possibly can. And I'd rather focus on, you know, 1,000+ people who cared enough to click that button, the subscribe button, than focus on the one person who felt convicted to click, or feels convicted, present tense, to click the dislike button. Like, fuck them. Honestly, Just yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Well, yes. I mean, yeah, friends and family, honestly. It's weird because I sort of look at everybody that kind of interacts with my channel as a friend or a friendly, I mean, to a certain degree, but as far as, people that have worked their way into my personal life, yeah, there are definitely those people who have. I mean, the obvious, the usual suspects are clear enough. I mean, Nina goes without saying. Um, Baby Tigger 23. I'm Nothing But Sexy, who is also known as Hair Trends for You, who is also known as Keisha. Um, those are three people whom separately I feel like I can absolutely, chop it up, talk to about, and I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm minimizing the depth of my emotion towards these individuals, but Nina will be part of my life until the end of my days, and that's just kind of where it's at. Beyond that, of course, my son on the Ocean 007, aka B Love, um, whom I absolutely adore. Amaru. I mean, if y'all knew how many people in my life who have nothing to do with YouTube will come up to me and say, "It's time to get real," and they try to do it in Amaru's accent. Oh my God, I'm thinking about my niece. Shouts out to Fendi, aka Brielle Walby. She said, every time I pick up the phone, "It's time to get real with Jahaira." It's freaking hilarious. Amaru is a godsend. He's just a godsend. He's a godsend. Amaru online. I'm nothing without him. Honest to God, I'm really, really not. He's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Um, there are so many people, but like, I think her name is Katie Liz Ruth. Rachel Yoga Angel 7. I love to death. Odelia, I love. My homegirl Mac 8. Um, Andrea, I love you. SPNation. Brian is a fascinating human being. He's just fascinating, and if you don't like, if you're not connected with him on Facebook, you really can't. It's so much deeper than what you see on YouTube. It's all him, but it's just so much deeper. And sometimes I just kind of stand in awe of the way that he thinks. And I love that he's subversive, and I love that he's unapologetically himself. And that's such a refreshing thing to see, especially in sort of like the makeup beauty, kind of genre on YouTube where everybody is just so chipper. Um, he's just kind of like, fuck you, fuck your mother, kill them all, I don't care. Um, forgive my language, y'all. But there are people, there are definitely people whom have gotten to know Jahira the person instead of Jahira the personality. And while I try to stay as true to myself on YouTube as I am in life, you know, those are people whom I know that I can bare my soul to, and for all intents and purposes feel safe in doing that. And I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize for that, but those are the people who immediately come to mind. So yeah, I've been very blessed. YouTube has done very well by me. I will say that. So yeah, I've got friends. Honestly, I think that the whole, be yourself spiel is going to get really cliche really quickly. But I cannot impress upon anybody enough the benefits to just being you. I really can't. I've seen it in my own journey. You know what I mean? There are times that I'll, you know, see something that I want to make a video about, and I'm thinking that this is a video that's probably going to be seen by a lot of people. So I try to refine my vernacular in a manner that's befitting my public, and you know what I mean, and affect this attitude, affect this aura that's just really, really, really contrived. And we've all seen it. You know what I mean? If you've watched YouTube, especially in the beauty community, everybody that's just, you know what I mean, constantly smiling and everything is fabulous and I love every single thing that I've ever gotten and nothing's ever bothered me. And it's just like, oh God, Jesus, please shut up. It's insane to me. And I have bad days. I have insecure days. I have days that I'm not at my peak. I have days when I would rather immolate myself than put on makeup. Or you know what I'm saying, configure my hair into some kind of something or other. You know what I mean? We've seen all of that, and I find that some of my best videos happen right here on the bed. You know what I mean? Just chatting with y'all. And honestly, that's the best advice I can possibly give you. Do not apologize for who you are. Do not apologize for who you're not. And just get it out there. You know what I mean? Chances are people are going to have an opinion regarding what you have to say. Good, bad, or indifferent, at least they're talking. So be yourself. Be absolutely, completely yourself. That's all we can do. The question of the hour. And we're almost done, y'all. I explained this on the One Love Lounge in an exclusive video that you could only see if you liked the One Love Lounge on Facebook, and I'll include the link to that below. And I'm going to give y'all the very short version of this story. I was a YouTube partner, and a very grateful one, and I was click bombed. And they revoked my partnership. I appealed it, and nothing came of that. I am considering appealing it again. There are people in my life who believe that I should, and should continue to appeal it, because it obviously is not something that I did to myself. And that's kind of, that's where that is. You know what I mean? It happens. I've known of some people that it's happened to before, and, it sucked. It really sucked, and it kind of derailed me for a significant amount of time. I felt very discouraged that anybody would be that determined to, remove a source of income for me, that they would do that sort of thing. So that's where that is. That's it. That's all. And we'll see what happens. I'll keep y'all posted. All right, y'all. Last question of the night. I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to my YouTube videos. Everything from music to wigs to eye looks and just makeup in general. I watch. I am one of the hugest fans of the Got to Be Real series on YouTube, which is created by La Belle of the Ball 2 right here on the YT. And it's a parody video of an ongoing conversation between R&B celebrities and pop stars. Oh my God, Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle, Dionne Warwick, Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, Toni Braxton, the list goes on and on. Rihanna, oh God, and it is some of the most side-splittingly hilarious comedy that I have ever come across. I look forward to it more than TV. Honest to God, I do. And they are reading for blood. It's hilarious to me. If you have not checked it out, oh my God, run, do not walk, and catch every single episode. They're now in their second season. I am so in love with Got to Be Real. Um, Other than that, just some of my favorite music artists, like Patti LaBelle. I just try to check out anything that she comes out with, honest to God. Um, and yeah, I mean, just everyone that I'm subscribed to. It's pretty diverse with me. It's pretty diverse. Actually, my favorite section in my on YouTube, the videos that I favorite are private, just because I feel like if everybody was to see this, you'd see everything from like Guns N' Roses to Shakira to like it's so weird with me. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. That is about it. I tag absolutely everybody. And SP, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me something to do tonight, and I really appreciate it. And I love y'all. I appreciate you. Please continue to support. Check out the One Love Lounge. Follow me on Twitter. Shameless plug. I never do this, but I don't know. I need the connection nowadays. I'll talk to y'all soon. One love.